I don't know if this is working. I'll be right with you guys if you already see me. Okay. So funny. Welcome to the Soul Infused Monday show. I'm super excited today. I'm super happy that you're here. Today's episode is going to be about three things, three habits that will radically improve your confidence if you do it consistently. So I'm going to wait for a moment, and I had some tech issues here. So let me know if you see and hear me. And if you're already watching this and you're taking the time to listen in and I'm not quite ready, just grab a glass of water, take a nice deep breath, remove any distractions, grab a pen and a paper. So if you want to take notes, and leave me a comment. Say hello, let me know where you're listening from and how you're feeling. And yeah, that's it. Okay. And I'm so excited because of something that's happening soon, and I'm gonna share it soon. But I just I'm just super excited right now. All right, welcome to the Soul Infused Monday show. Thank you for showing up, for being here, for listening, for being committed to learn, to grow. My intention for these calls are really to ultimately help you to peel off the layers, to dig deeper into the places that are preventing you from being connected with who you really are, from being present within yourself, from loving who you are, from being connected with your soul, and to let go of all of these outside ripples and circumstances and things that are not really who you are. And so today I'm going to share with you three habits that can radically improve your confidence and your worth if you do them consistently. And I will dig a little deeper. Also, quick disclaimer, sometimes these shows can trigger things. So maybe you experience yourself, maybe you react with a yes, but. And when you feel that way, use that as an opportunity and take a note, because when we get triggered by something, there's something in us that is coming up for healing. Embrace it, dive into it. Are you ready? Let's get this started. And even though this show is not only for women, I think in particularly today, more women will resonate with what I'm sharing because of our conditioning. And of course, it's not all in one box, but there are archetypes, there are certain things that are collectively conditioned more in women and men. And of course, there are also different genders, but I have different conditionings. So at the same time, I think it's going to be very valuable. I'm going to share with you one thing that you should stop doing, one thing that you should start doing more often, and a third one is about your relationship with yourself. So let's get this show started. The first thing that I want to talk about and tell you to stop doing, you might have heard this before, and it's easy to justify right away why we do it. But here's what I suggest, invite you, and adamant about, keep saying to women all over, is to stop apologizing so much. Stop saying sorry all the time. Now take that in for a moment. You might have heard this before. And I've been traveling all over this year, and I've experienced women and cultures, and I've been one of those as well. But it's a thing that I see everywhere. And it's so obvious to me that I wanted to talk about this today again. And I want to dig a little deeper. Why? Stop saying sorry so often. Most likely, you are saying sorry so many times without even noticing. It's like an automatism, and it's like a habit. And it's not only a habit, it can have deep ingrained roots and core reasons why. And I'm going to share a few because it's also often related to your worth. Especially women are constantly saying sorry about anything and everything. The problem is that often these things are not really things that need to be apologized for, And don't get me wrong here. When you do something that is hurtful to someone else, whether it's intentional or by accident, or when you messed up and you're genuinely sorry for something you did that you know cost someone else or something, a consequence that you want to take responsibility, then by all means, say sorry and apologize. Very important. But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the little bits here and there, even in public. You walk at the drugstore and someone passed me by and says, "Oh, I'm so sorry." It's like, what are you sorry for? There's a difference between excuse me, if you want to pass someone or you ask for something and it's like, excuse me, can you please do this? Or excuse me, just to make a point. But take for a moment and think about how often do you say sorry and you apologize. Now, when we do that, and also when I say this, oftentimes, and I totally understand because nobody wants to be called out, even though we want to be called out, because if we are not called out, we are not learning and growing, because it's such an automatism, and it's such an often an unawareness about this pattern, about this habit, that you don't realize how often you say it. It often comes from the underlying conditioning or belief or wound that I'm too much, I'm not good enough, or something is wrong. There are certain things, and we women are conditioned to constantly also please and say sorry and don't be too loud, don't do this. And it's crippling your self-worth and confidence much more than you might think. So pay attention moving forward, and pay attention to when am I saying sorry and why, what for. And it's easy now to justify it. Oh yeah, but I'm not really sorry. I'm just saying sorry. Oh yeah, but I did this. Or very typical, what I see what happens when I say to someone, hey, there's nothing to apologize for, or you don't need to say sorry. There's really nothing to say sorry for. We either justify, explain it, or excuse it in a way because we often feel guilty. So it comes out of a deep, deep ingrained conditioning. Now, maybe for you, it's a habit that you can shift quickly. You are aware of it. You say, hey, oh, that's a great point. I'm not going to say sorry all the time. Or maybe for you, it is attached to a deeper wounding, or can even be trauma-based, and you do want to do the deeper inner work with someone to release those places in you. Because when you stop saying sorry all the time, you have much more space to be yourself, to be authentically you, and that will increase also your confidence, because you're not constantly worried about being too much or being disturbant or anything like that. So one of the habits, stop saying sorry unless it's really justified. And another point that I want to say here real quick, when you say sorry out of automatism, without true meaning, without it being actually justified, when you do say sorry at some point for something that is meaningful, it doesn't have the power anymore. It's because it's always there. When it's really meaningful and genuine, it's sometimes just a superficial. Does it make sense? Okay, that's number one. Stop saying sorry all the time. And again, it doesn't mean that you don't care, and it doesn't mean that you say sorry for things that you've done. I want to be really clear. However, I've seen it. I have yet to find one woman that doesn't do this. Like, I see this constantly. And again, I've been one of those. So there's no judgment from my side, but I want to empower you to stand in your power and to really tune in. Why in the world am I saying sorry right now? Why? For what for? Yeah, own your power and tune in. Okay, I made my point. Number two might not apply to everyone, but if that resonates with you, you will know. Number two, the habit that if you change over time will definitely make a difference in your life is start saying no more often and more clearly. Hang in there for a moment, because you might say, yeah, I say no. And that's great. So, love it. Setting boundaries and learning how to say no will change your life forever. Without that, you don't have any freedom. Without it, you don't have like your autonomy, your authentic needs met or anything. Like, when you are not able to say no, you're not able to fully be empowered. Now, I want to say a few things about it. Start saying no more often. Here's what I often see. The three main reactions or responses when we might want to say no. Let's say someone asks you something and it is a no. So either you feel bad about it and you say yes, even though it is a no. So that's obviously the worst. Unless you genuinely choose to say yes because you want to do it. Even if you might not feel like it, but the person is important to you, you care about that person, you're consciously aware that you could say no, but you choose to say yes. But most often, especially a lot of women that we are conditioned to be pleasing and say yes and give and give and give, we have a hard time saying no. So if that's you, listen up and I give you a few tips. Coming back to what I said before. So either we say yes, or we don't respond. I experience this often when I reach out to someone and I ask them or I offer them something and then I get zero response. I often know it's a no and they feel bad about saying no, even though I love a no. Oh my gosh, saying no to someone is kind and beautiful and great. So if that's your concern, what they do with the no, I love no's. Like, if I ask you something and it's a yes or a no and you give me a no, I love it. I appreciate it. It's a clear answer. So either we say a yes, we say no, and then we justify why not. Very often, it's like, oh my God, this happened and I cannot do it because of this, and the words I cannot. And or we explain, we justify, and we feel bad about it. So maybe that resonates with you. Now, nevertheless, you get to start saying no more often. It is very empowering, because if it's the truth is always kind and the truth will empower you. And it will also be better for the other person because it's clear communication. I'm curious. Out of saying sorry and maybe not able to say no, which of those two resonate with you, or maybe even two, or maybe even both? One second, sorry. It's just my internet did something. Okay. You guys still hear me? Are you here? Am I still live? I'm not, not even sure. Okay, I'll continue. So, if you're someone who has a hard time saying no, here are a few things. Again, that most likely is deeper ingrained in you. It comes from certain experiences from the past, from our upbringing, from our conditioning. It's ingrained in you. So just by mentally choosing to do it might not cut it. You want to do the emotional work, the energetical work, to learn how to set boundaries and say no while still feeling safe and confident and without guilt. So there is work to do. There's no magic pill that will give you that. But when you pay attention, you can start changing this right now with small things. Small things like, do you want to go to that restaurant? No, I would rather go to this one. Like, start small. Also, if you're having a hard time because you don't know how to say it, because the other option that might happen is that we lie, and we all do it. Like, you might get triggered where it's like, there's no, you've done it before. Oh, do you want to, can you do this? No, I cannot. Yes, you can, but you don't want to. Choose not to. You have something important to do. So we not only say yes sometimes and we justify or explain it, then we lie to get ourselves out of it. That is terrible energy. We all do it, and that's okay. But you want to get empowered. You don't have to justify. You don't have to explain. You can if you want to, but you can also say, no, I'm not available, but thank you for the offer. Or, no, I already have plans, but I appreciate your invitation. Or whatever it is that you want to say no to. It can be anything. I'm not available. I have already other plans. I have another commitment. Whatever. I need some time for myself today. So thank you for the offer. However, it's not going to work for me today. Be honest. Be simply honest. It's like, I really appreciate you asking me. And the truth is, I rather want to spend some time by myself, but maybe another time. Thank you. Why this is also so difficult is because of what the response. It might create fear of being judged, rejected, or that they're going to be upset with you. It's all of that inner work stuff. You get to do that work. I'm not going to cover this here. You get to do the work. And if you do want to do the work, then reach out to me or reach out to someone else. Yes. So having said that, let me see. I made a few notes because I'm in Cyprus and it's really late for me. I usually don't do this show so late, and it takes a lot of effort, and everything takes a bit longer in my brain. So appreciate your patience. Okay, good. So one was stop saying sorry. Yes, stop saying sorry. Start saying no if it's clear. And if it goes, and it's also you get to learn how to say these things, right? You don't want to be rude or disrespectful, but it's a learning curve. That's it. I give you the tools, I give you the habits, and if there's more work for you to do, that's your responsibility to do the inner work. Okay. And the third one is something that you can apply fairly quickly, and it might also take some time. I'm sure you've heard many times, and I've said it many, many times. Treat yourself like your best friend. And I still stand for that. And I was listening to a podcast just the other day, and I heard they were talking about something similar than this. And she said, she used the words, be your favorite person. And I really like that. I kind of stuck with this, like, treat yourself like your favorite person. Who's your favorite person? So think about your favorite person for a moment. Think about your favorite person for a moment. Just the person that you love, that you did for whatever reason, one of your favorite people. How do you talk to them? What do you wish them? Do you think you deserve well? Do you think that you deserve happiness? Do you wish them all the best? Do you love them? Do you care about them? Or do you constantly judge them? Do you constantly tell them what they're not doing well? Are you constantly pointing out what's wrong about them? I would pretty much assume you don't do that. So the third habit that, if you implement it regularly, will really make a huge difference is treat yourself like your favorite person or like your best friend. It's so easy to be kind to someone else sometimes, but are you truly kind to yourself? And it's a process. But treat yourself and remind yourself that if your favorite person, if you believe that your favorite person or someone you love deserves love, attention, happiness, money, whatever it is what they deserve, you deserve the same. Everybody deserves. But how often are you maybe happy, or you think, hey, she really deserves it? Do you deserve it? Are you doing and are you treating yourself the way so that you have the same things? Okay, I'm going to go over your comments here real quick. Some reason they're not showing up. I see there are comments, but I can't see them right now. So I'm going to go back to them. Let me recap real quick. So the 3 habits or patterns, behaviors, whatever you want to call it, that if you implement them regularly and you do the deeper inner work to make them truly powerful working, number 1, stop saying sorry and apologize all the time. Say no more often and treat yourself as your favorite person. Of course, I'm scratching the surface here. I could go much, much deeper. And if you are at the point that you do want to do some deeper work and you resonate with me, I am opening up a spot to work with me privately. So if you are called to do that deeper inner work, send me a message and we can talk about it and see if we are a good fit. And before you leave, tune in for a moment and let me know, what is your biggest takeaway today? What's resonating with you the most? What landed for you the most? Maybe even tune in, what is the main habit that is going to be important to you? Which one will make the big impact for you? What do you believe? Which one of those 3 habits that you can implement, or behaviors, commitments, intentions, will make the biggest difference for you? Tune in for a moment. Take a moment to tune in. And use the opportunity to take a nice deep breath. And depending on your background, on your childhood, on your experiences growing up, some of these will be more difficult than others. Because we don't heal or transform just through thinking, because it runs so deep. Trauma runs very deep and influences our behavior now. However, some of the things you can start implementing today. Take one step at a time. You don't have to shift this 180 degrees overnight. Take one little step, one sorry less, one more no, one more kind moment with yourself. That's all it takes. And then you do this every day consistently, and gradually your confidence and your worth will improve radically. Okay, let me see if I see. Thank you. Thank you. One takeaway here is to treat myself as I treat my best friend. Great takeaway. So good. To say no is a big one. Great takeaway. Yes, it's a big one. That's why I'm bringing it up. I know it's a big one. Yeah. And another favorite, be your favorite person. Yeah, isn't it great? I love that. Just be your favorite person. Treat yourself like your favorite person. I mean, you are the most important person. You are with you all the time. All the time you're with yourself. And the last one I'm going to share, doing the inner work behind why I say I'm sorry, treating yourself like your best friend. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you for being here today again. I'm excited for your exploration about these habits and behaviors and what they will do for you. Please be so kind. Go back, leave a review, send me a message, write me a testimonial. Just share with me. Share with me what this is doing for you, how you're doing. It means the world to me. And in that way, I also know that this is actually beneficial and helpful. And if you feel that you're ready to take a next step and you are looking for some deeper work and you resonate with me and you want to work privately with me, send me a message. I'm opening up one spot to work with me one-on-one. Until then, sending you much love. Have a fantastic start to your week. And hopefully I'll see you next Monday for the Soul Infused Monday show. Much love.